In this example, we're going to take a look at absolute cell references in formulas and mixed cell references, and we're also going to look at one of the built-in financial functions. So what we have here is we're going to do a little spreadsheet that will tell us how much our loan payments are going to be on a loan, and we're going to enter the loan amount up here, and then down here what we're going to do is we're going to enter in different interest rates. Okay, so we'll start at 0.50%, and then we'll go to 1.00%, and then we will just go down here. We'll stop at 8%. So we'll do this in half% increments, and obviously you could put any increment in there that you wanted to. And then across the top we're going to look at different periods to borrow the money. We'll do 5 years, we'll do 10 years, and we'll do 5-year increments all the way up to 30. Okay? And then we're going to compute, in the middle here, we're going to compute what your payment would be on a loan of this amount for this amount of time at this particular interest rate. So before we go any further here, let's make these look a little different. We're going to make them bold. We're going to change the fill color just a little bit here, and we're also going to center these. I don't want to center these. I want to keep them right aligned like they are, and we'll center these numbers. And then down here is where we're going to put in our payment amount. Okay, now anytime you have a table like this where one of the numbers is coming from the left and another number is coming from the top, those are going to be relative cell references. And we're also going to include this number up here, and that's going to be an absolute cell reference. We're going to end up with 3 terms making up this payment formula, and 2 of those terms are going to be relative or mixed references, and one of them is going to be an absolute cell reference. Okay, now there's a built-in formula to compute the payment on a loan. It's actually kind of a long formula, but if you had to actually type in the formula itself, but there's a built-in function called payment function, and it's in the financial category. So we're going to select financial here, and we're going to scroll down to the P's, and PMT happens to be the name of the function. If you're not sure, there's always a little description down here that tells you what the function does, and then we're going to click on OK, and then we can just fill in the boxes rather than having to type everything in from scratch. So the rate is always coming from over here. That's an annual rate, and usually we do monthly payments. We're going to compute a monthly payment, so I need to divide that by 12. Also, this formula is going to be copied, and when it does, I want to make sure that the A never changes, so I want to put a $sign in front of that. The number of periods is going to come from up here, and that's always going to come from row 4. Whoops. So what I need to do is I need to click in here and put a $sign before the 4 to indicate that's never going to change. But if we're doing monthly payments, I have to multiply the years by 12. Okay, and then the present value is the amount of the loan, which is, and since it's never going to change, it needs to be an absolute cell reference, so I need to put $signs in there. Now these last 2 arguments are optional. If you read the description down here, it tells you that it'll use 0 if omitted, and usually you pay off all of a loan, so that number is normally 0. And this number is also optional. That tells you whether you're making a payment at the beginning or the end of the period. It uses 0 if we don't put anything in, which means you'll be making your payment at the end of each monthly period. You can tell these are going to be optional arguments because the labels out here are not bold. Bold arguments are required, and ones that are not bold are optional. Now obviously if you don't want the default value, then you have to put something in here. Okay, so let's click on OK. And payment is always a negative number, so it's going to show up as red with parentheses around it, but I can copy this down and across, and some of the numbers here are kind of big, so it looks like I need to widen my columns a little bit. I'll widen all of them at the same time. And now let's double click on any one of these numbers, and my blue number is coming from column A, my green number is coming from up here, and my purple number is coming from up here. And no matter where I click, the blue number is from here, the green number is from here, and the purple number is from up here. So this is another good example of using absolute cell references and using mixed cell references. Now, if you don't like the fact that these numbers are in red, you can just change the sign by putting a minus sign out here in front. That'll make it a positive number, and then copy it down again with your fill handle, and then let go of the mouse. Drag your fill handle across, and now we've got positive numbers there for the payments. But this is an example of using mixed cell references along with an absolute cell reference and a built-in function.